Welcome back to Juggling Warehouse today. Carson and I are gonna show you guys 10
tricks you should learn at home.
Maybe your first 10, if you've mastered 3 balls and you need some 10 beginner tricks, here they are. What's the first trick you learned?
I think the first trick I learned, I wasn't doing it in the middle of a pattern. I would just start with under the leg because I thought it was kind of easy because I would just stand there and be like,
start with.
ooh, and then I eventually figured out that, oh, I could do it.
Yep, so under the leg is a good first one. The big thing with under the leg is you want to kind of move your body around the juggling pattern. You don't want to like change a lot of people they'll throw one high and do that to try to make extra time. Maybe you dip your hand a little bit to make some room, but the pattern shouldn't change at all. So ta 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 ta. The tempo doesn't change.
If you were like invisible and you just saw the balls, you wouldn't even really notice.
Right. It should look basically the same. The heights don't change. The speed doesn't change. And like Carson said, you can go right hand under right leg. You can go left hand under left leg.
But if you're pretty new to it, you can always just say, look, you start with it, and you don't even have to like do anything. It's just a new way to start.
Number 2 is columns.
Oh,
just like this. Really good trick to learn. And
it looks cool.
It looks really cool. The secret to this one, all you're doing is 2 in your dominant hand typically, but they just don't cross. So usually 2 in your one hand is like this, where it's kind of a circle, but here it's just like that.
And you can even switch hands too, which is fun.
You can switch
hands. Left-handers now throwing the column. That's a fun one. But yeah, you basically just have to learn what 2 in one hand is like, and then add in the other ball and just like throw it up to nothing.
And then your left hand is literally just doing that.
Yeah.
And this is one you can work on. You can work on it cold. So you can go 1 and then 2 and then stop.
Yeah, that can be your start.
1 and 2 and then 1 more. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. And then eventually you'll want to learn how to do it from a juggle. And it's pretty easy. You just throw one in the middle and you get into it and then you can go back to juggle.
That might have been my second trick, honestly. I think I thought it was cool that I would start like this and then I would just go into it, which I thought was really cool. So you can start with it, or you can literally, as you said, do it from the juggle.
There you go, number 2. Number 3 is a half shower.
Oh,
which looks like that. One hand is throwing higher, the other throwing on the outside of the pattern. This is another one you can just start with 1 outside throw, so you're juggling 1 outside throw, back to it.
Yeah.
Then you work on 2 in a row, back to juggling. Then 3, and you just kind of build on it until you can keep it going. And of course, you can switch sides.
Yeah, it's
you're
one of the few ones I
non-dominant.
can do like with both, I think, like pretty well. Oh, and does this count too as the half shower? You like throwing the same ball back and forth?
So that
pattern? Or
is our number 4.
Number
That's
4!
Tennis, juggler's tennis. So it's the same ball going back and forth.
It's fun to throw it like,
It's the same ball going up, back and forth at the same time, and you watch it like you're watching a tennis match.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
like
really
Pong
cool.
back in the. This isn't really when I learned. This was back when I was again starting. I was like trying to think of different ways to start. And I would be like, what if I kicked one up and went under and caught it? And then I got better at it, where I could like kind of consistently like drop, and do it pretty consistently.
I'm not going to count this as another one. What we're going to say that falls also
knee.
with 5 is, it can be a knee, it can be a kick like that, it can be a kick on the outside. Number 6 is, it can be a finishing move, or it can be part of your
Oh, I
trick.
see what you have to do.
Net catch. Wait, I'm not done. I threw it back. Oh.
And that could also
So
be.
usually, for a long time, it was just how I would finish the routine. So it'd be juggle, do a few tricks, and then ta-da, it's over, and then I'd stand up and get it. But then there's ways to, so if it's here, you can throw as you stand up and catch it behind you and go back to juggle. So it's kind of as you're standing up, you catch, or you can flick it back up as it rolls. And this is not a beginner trick, but you can even get to where every throw is caught.
Let me see. I don't even know if I can do this.
Well, your hat.
It'll take some time.
Carson, show him number 7. 360.
Yes, first try.
So I like spinning to my left.
Did I do that? I think I did.
Yeah. So you'll have your body will naturally want to spin one way. It's like
I
really,
didn't even think about it. I went left.
it's really awkward for me to spin to my right. Like I'll fall over. So spinning my left is good, and that means it's a little bit easier if you make your high throw with your left hand.
Oh, I did my own mouth.
It makes it a little bit harder. So if you're left, spin left, and catch it in your right.
Weird. I caught it with my left and spun left and threw right. That's weird.
Yeah. So there's some. I mean, it's possible, but that is if you're spinning to your right, you want to start with your right spin, you want to start with your left, and then catch it in the opposite hands.
Yeah.
That's just a 1 up. So 1 in the air. Then you can work on 2 up, and then all 3 up.
So back again, when I was trying different starting ways, I thought it was cool that I would go like under the arm and start my pattern. And I learned when I was younger that I could just kind of continuously go under the arm, and I thought that was like a lot of fun to just like.
Yeah, and this is one of those very early building blocks for a popular trick that is probably not one of your first in trick. This is called Mills Mess. Could probably do a whole video on this one, although it's not my favorite trick to teach because it's pretty difficult. But just an underhand toss is a good little trick to learn. 9, we have box. This is not an easy trick.
I can still not do this. I can't do this.
So maybe it's not first 10, but we're gonna teach you in this list anyway. This is called the box.
It looks far more simple than a lot of
Oh, I think it looks like a box. And the way you break this one down is work with 2, kind of at the same time. Actually, we'll start with just that.
Whoa.
So how we'll break this one down, first just with 2 balls, you're gonna kind of at the same time throw one across and one straight up and then catch both of them. There you go. Okay, and now in that dwell time, pass it back. So there and back. Yeah, gross. And then eventually, you work on it with 3. So there and back, and then start building.
It's like the main 3-ball trick. I just can't wrap my head around.
Eventually, you get it looking
Are there
like
tricks
something.
you can do while doing that pattern too, or is that the trick? Like,
Well, there's lots of variations on, you can go extended box. So it's like twice, or you can just, it's easy to work in with shower,
Yeah.
which is our number 10. We'll get to that in a second. Number 10, shower.
Okay, so like however long it took me to learn to juggle 3 is not as long as it took me to learn to do the shower. It was like the last frontier of juggling 3 for me before I like learned to do 4 or whatever. It was like mastering the shower. And it's like, I don't know, I just had a super hard time figuring out how to do it.
So shower is kind of the juggling pattern that you always think of when you think of juggling if you're not a juggler.
Circus, yeah.
It's like the cartoon version of
They just keep
juggling.
throwing things in and they just keep making the big circle.
And it's actually, it is how a lot of early juggling was done because people didn't know what was easier. It is much more difficult to do that version of juggling. And yeah, that's the first thing is to, at a slight downward angle, I call it a zip. I don't know why, because it's faster than just a throw. So it's a regular throw and a zip. Regular throw, zip. Regular throw, zip. And then you just start building on it. So it's kind of a weird one where it's like ta, ta, ta. So it's ta, ta, ta to get it started. There's a little bit of a weird timing on it. And it's not perfectly symmetrical like other juggling. So it's ta, 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 ta.
And some 3-ball tricks are like exclusively for 3, but watch, can you do it?
Sure. Oh, like that, yeah.
And it can be 4. Can I try again?
Yeah, a little bit higher.
So that's the 5-ball shower. This is crazy. But
yeah, there's some stuff to work on. Hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe for more juggling videos. Check out jugglingwarehouse.com to get yourself some awesome juggling equipment. See ya. Bye.